Good morning, everybody. We'll get started in just a minute. Good morning, everybody. Nice to see you. Let's wait another minute or so and make, if you could, just make sure that you open up the chat and select everyone, because I think it defaults to host and panelist when it's on webinar. So go ahead and open up the chat and drop down menu, select everyone. Nice to see folks joining on this beautiful morning. The weather has been just amazing. I mean, you can sort of feel the change in the atmosphere and the cool nights for sleeping. And I really welcome this time of year. It's a big transition time for a whole lot of reasons, but I definitely welcome it. Lots of sunshine. Yes. And in some ways I feel like after Labor Day, summer is over, but it's actually not really over, right? Like I think we have 3 more weeks, at least 2.5 weeks left of summer. So fully taking advantage of these warm days. So nice. Well, it's 8:32, so I want to welcome everybody to our Thursday morning gathering. My name is Tara Healey. I'm the founder and director of Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare and Tufts Health Plan Mind the Moment mindfulness program. Point 32 Health is our parent company. And as always, really delighted to start my day with all of you. And this morning, I am going to start us off with a poem, kind of get us situated for our 12-minute guided meditation. And I'm also going to bookend it with a poem. But before I do that, I just want to mention that Kel Juilliard, one of our senior instructors and wonderful instructor, is doing a series in September every Wednesday from 1 to 1:30. So I've included the link in the chat we're also going to be posting the recording. So if you can't attend live, you can go and watch the recording. And it's really, Kel is a wonderful instructor, and the actual official name is Healthy Habits to Get the Most Out of Every Moment. And he's really he's taking us through different meditation practices, but also looking at the value of human connection, of how meditation supports brain health, and just looking at ways to keep vibrant and healthy and well. And I can't recommend it enough. And I attended yesterday, and I always love sitting with Kel. He's just a wonderful teacher. So feel free to just copy that link, check it out. You don't have to watch the first one in order to attend next week's session. So if there's anybody here that's new, these practices are about 12 to 14 minutes in length. They're fully guided, and then we save time at the end for Q&A. And so let's go ahead and get started. As I said, I'm going to first just get us kind of in a short arrival practice, and then I'll read the poem, and then I'll also close with a poem. So find a posture that's comfortable, and that could be seated or standing or lying down, whatever feels like it's going to serve you best this morning. I would say if you're tired, probably not to do the lying down practice, but otherwise, take a seat or stand. Your eyes can be open or closed, whatever feels most comfortable for you. And so make any micro movements so that you're holding yourself in a way that's engaged, that's upright, but relaxed to the degree that you can. And just letting go of everything that's already happened so far this morning, releasing anticipation of what's to come. It's bringing the mind and the body together in this moment. Noticing points of contact with the back of the body and the surface that you're on. And notice any sensations from your activity this morning. So you might be aware of the heartbeat or a kind of pulsing or tingling, any even vibration, temperature. So what's the raw data that your body is offering? And just simply receiving that, really nothing to do, but just allow and receive and aware of what's happening, what sensations are happening. Perhaps noticing the touch of clothes on skin. Just be aware of that point of contact as well. So not only if you're seated or standing and aware of a point of contact, but the clothes against the skin. And nowhere else to be and nothing else to do. Giving yourself this time. And as a way to start, I'm going to read a very short poem. And it's called Where I Am Right Now. A train whistle floats like a dust mote in the quiet. It is an enticing sound, conjuring images of travel, adventure, a footloose life, as if I'm somehow bound, as if freedom isn't already my reality, as if steel rails lead to a more desirable experience than where I am right now. So as you settle in, and take a moment to expand your awareness to include sound that may be in the room or even outside of the room. Making a soft mental note, hearing. And finally, let's look for an anchor to help stabilize the wandering mind, remembering we're not trying to stop thought. We're just seeing when a thought has slipped unnoticed, slipped in unnoticed and becomes noticed. We're just simply releasing it or acknowledging it, softening the body, and then returning to an anchor. So the anchor could be breath sensation, really anywhere in the body that you notice it. So it could be abdomen, chest, nostrils, or someplace else. So as you breathe in and out, tracking the sensations of the breath is one way to anchor attention. You could also take your hands and touch the hands together, and the point of contact, the actual feeling, could be where you place your attention. And each time the mind wanders, just releasing, softening, and coming back to the sensation of touch. You could take the palms of your hands and rest them on your thighs. That's another sensation to be aware of. So you have some options. And you could also do open choiceless awareness, which is just you are aware of the arising and passing of sound, of thought, of body sensation, of emotion. So that's called open choiceless awareness. So present each moment with whatever is happening, not grasping onto any one thing or rejecting anything. So take a moment to see, do you want a more narrow focus this morning? If the mind is really busy, sometimes that's helpful. So breath or another sensation, hands touching or hands on thighs. And take the next few moments to see what might work best for you this morning. And whatever you've chosen, it's helpful to stay with that for the remainder of our practice this morning. Noticing where the mind is, just releasing whatever narrative has popped in, letting that go, softening your body, and returning again to your anchor. And noticing where the mind is, letting go of any planning or worry. Allow the body to soften and return to whatever you're using as an anchor. And as a way to end our practice this morning, I'm going to end with a poem called Blessing. Both of these poems are by Dana Faulds. And so what I'd invite you to do is just to change anchors. So whatever you've been using to anchor or stabilize attention, you can release that and track the words of the poem. Blessing. May grace abound and ecstasy too. In the fray of everyday life, may you embody your true nature. May you breathe in love and breathe out love until love is your only reality, even in the midst of challenge. May you not deny difficulties or the shadow side of life, but find divine presence inside even the hardest times. May miracles come your way often and especially today. So as you feel ready, if your eyes were closed, you can go ahead and open the eyes and just taking a moment to reorient to the room you're in, maybe do a little bit of a stretch. And so we've got time for Q&A. If anybody needs to hop off, of course, thank you for joining. But we do have some time if folks want to share a resource you've come across recently that you think is really good. So that could be a book or a podcast, an app, or something else. And if you have questions, this is an opportunity to ask questions. If you want to share anything about your practice or anything you've noticed, even this morning with how your practice went, you can also just put that in the chat. And so anything at all, especially, I have been lately given the option of open choiceless awareness. And I did speak to this recently, but I feel like it's probably worth saying again that it has often been thought of as a more advanced practice, but I like to give it as an option. because if the mind is really busy, so the rule of thumb generally is to have a more narrow focus and just keep coming back to that. So it could be, feeling of the breath at the chest or the belly or the nostrils, or even the carriage of the body, but the idea is you're feeling the sensations of the breath. But open choiceless awareness also just kind of, to me, it sometimes feels a little more easeful. And you don't really have to try. You just let things come to you, and it's the moment by moment by moment noticing of what's going on. And in that, you can also get caught up in trains of thought, of narratives that pop in, and then as soon as you notice, it's like thinking, soften, and then return to your open awareness or your more narrow focus. So Michael Singer's podcast to help integrate. Oh, nice, Kristen. Thank you. That's wonderful. Yeah, I'll check that out. I'm using affirmation cards. I have a stack that say I am with an affirmation. I keep the card I choose for the day on my desk. Great. I feel like these things matter, like we're dropping these messages into our minds and bodies. And I think of these somewhat the way I think of loving kindness for oneself, that you don't have to actually feel that in the moment, but the repetition of that goodwill towards yourself is really valuable. And of course, towards others as well. Tamara, that was open awareness. Yeah, it's not mind wandering. I like it, but wonder if it's easier. Yeah. So I hope that my explanation helps. So when we are mind wandering, we're not actually aware, and that's the distinction. So it's this idea that, well, mind wandering and lost in thought are the same, right? When we're lost in thought, and in a way, I've always liked that phrase, because we are not aware, we're lost in thought. And then this happens to me, it happens to you, it happens to all of us. And then at different points throughout the day, through research says about 50% of our waking hours were lost in thought. So it happens to all of us. And then we have these moments where we wake up from it. So lost in thought, and then all of a sudden like, oh, wow, where was I just then? Planning a vacation or worried about something I said, or, could be a million different things. With open choiceless awareness, you're practicing being aware, 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 not lost in thought or mind wandering, but you're seeing the comings and goings of all of it. So thoughts, emotions, body sensation, sound. So it's the senses are really strongly engaged, but there is awareness. So awareness of thinking, aware that I have been thinking. So yeah, it's interesting. I mean, as I said, it's often been saved for more advanced practice, but I don't necessarily think of it that way. I discovered Michael Singer's podcast this week. Oh, wow. Okay. I am making a note of that. Great. I've heard of Michael Singer, but I'm definitely gonna add it and check him out. So thank you. Anybody else? Anything else that you want to share about your own practice, or oh, you know what? He wrote The Untethered Soul. I read that. Yeah, no, I know what you meant. I read that. That's why that name is familiar to me. Gosh, that book came out a long time ago, could be 10 years even. But yeah, I will absolutely check it out. Well, I hope that everybody has a safe and happy upcoming weekend. And we'll look forward to seeing you back on Tuesday morning. I'm not sure who the instructor is on Tuesday, but and also don't forget about Kel Juilliard's Wednesday sessions. I'm going to be doing I'm going to be a participant in all of them. And not to worry, that all the info is in the link that I put in the chat, and feel free to um, watch them all later or join in person, not in person, but live. All right. I think that that's it. Thank you all so much for joining me this morning, and I'll look forward to seeing you next week. Okay. Take care.